Hello, everyone. This is a very short presentation on how to use ManageBac. So, when you log into ManageBac, the first screen you will get is this home screen. Okay, you have many things here, but the most important for us is classes. Okay, you can also see it here under classes. On the left-hand side, we have this menu. So, you can always go here to classes and choose your relevant class. I'm going to choose here, okay, the Polish class, and or maybe no, I'm going to choose my class, and because I teach computer science, so I'm choosing computer science class. Okay, and what we have at the top here are the most important parts. We have tasks and units. We have a grade book. We have attendance. We have discussion, calendar, files, and members. Okay. And so I'll start with the most important one. So if I go to tasking unit and click it, and then I will see my upcoming tasks. As you can see, there's no upcoming tasks, but I do have here a few minutes. If I go to here and show all tasks, I will see all the tasks that my students have already completed with their dates. Okay. How do we create a task? So, you know, first of all, you have this arrow to close the right hand side menu. Okay, so it's open. This is closing, and if I hit it again, it shows. Okay, so I have an option here to add a task. I also have it here. So when I click the add task button, I can add a task. I can give it a title. I can correlate to a unit, and it is recommended that you create units for unit planners, and but you can create one big one if it's the first year, and as we move on, you can improve that. So we choose a unit to attach it to. I give a task name, give a test. I'm adding the due date for the task, okay, with the actual time. If it's in your case, all your classes are only SL, so this option will not appear. And category, you can choose which of these categories. You can add a new category as well. Quiz, homework, essay, paper, test, exam. This can be also configured to add more or remove some. The tasks can be summative or formative. And then we can add here the class description, the task description. If we hit the plus button, we can attach file, photo, link, audio, whatever we want. And this is not relevant for you because you teach small classes, but you can actually assign to a specific student only. And then you have the assessment options. Do you only want to have comments? Do you want to have points? With points, we can give it a number of points. And if it's binary, just performed or not performed. There's also an option to add criteria. This is more advanced. I will leave it for now. So you can have with points or without points. And I suggest to always have comments. And in case you're grading. If you're not grading and just for homework without actually looking at it much, so I'm going to change this just to assign it to students without actually checking it. You can just have and nothing here. And assuming we have comments and points, I'm adding this. There's also a way for you to decide the IB grade boundaries, and you can change these percentages. As you probably know, 7 is the highest grade in IB, and 6, 5, 4, a 3 is not passing, 2 and 1. So you can play with this for a specific task. There's a default, which is this one is the default if you don't touch it. And then you have submission type. If you want them to upload the work, you actually hit the submission and turn it in. This will allow you to actually check that the work is authentic. And if there's no submission and nothing should be added, there's also a discussion task if needed. And so I'm just making this coursework submission. And then you have notify via email to all your students when you're creating it. You can also create as a draft if you don't want to publish it yet. When ready, you send it to students. So I'm gonna, because I don't want my students to see this, I'm just gonna create as draft without notify, and I'm gonna create task. Okay, so now if I go to tasks and units again, you can see that my test task is here. If I click it, I can see that all submission boxes are currently empty. And if student submits, he just needs to add a file. This the student does. You can do it for the students if needed. He chooses a file. Okay. So this, and he submits it. Upload files. Okay, so you can see this is submitted now, and the Turnitin will check it and actually give you indication what is going on. When done, and you can go to gradebook after the test is ready, and you can click on the relevant task and actually give it the grade out of 10 and give comments for each of the students. Okay, so we were in task to create the task, and you can click on it to review the submissions. Okay, and whenever we want to go to grade it, we go to gradebook. You can grade it from here. I can just add a grade here from the overall view of the class. Okay, so I can go one by one to all my students, or I can just click on the task itself and it will open for me a view that I can give each student a grade. Okay, so that's task and grade. We have discussions where you can just open a discussion, you can create a discussion and with a nice topic, name, title, and here's the discussion. You can have it notify all the students of this so they get a mail about it. And if you want also parents to see it, you can also click the parent. When done, you create the discussion and it's published. The calendar is where you're going to start seeing your tasks that you create, okay, with a due date. And you can see this is my tasks. And there's also something that's called online lesson, which I create here. And I'll show you in a second. And under files, you can create all your resources. You can put it into folders. So you can actually add a folder here. Okay. In folder, and then type a name. Okay. Or you can just go inside an existing folder and upload a file to here. You can add a Google Drive file from Google Drive or from your computer. Okay, so this is how you use the files. And the members is where I already assigned your students, so they're already available for you to view. Okay, so basically we have the tasks, the gradebook, the calendar and the files, and the discussion we talked about, the attendance. And I need to configure your attendance, but basically you go to attendance settings first for the first time and decide these are the available timers in our school. You can pick one, and or I can add maybe an extra one for you uh, to look at, and um, and then you can just mark the weekly attendance that you have. Okay, so if I click after you save your attendance, you have the option to just absent, present, late, or this is not relevant for you. So absent, present, or late. Okay, you can mark all of them and then go by one by one. You can just mark each one. You have very small classes, so it shouldn't be an issue. And I suggested you tell me what your when you agree with your students on the day of the week and the hour, and I will add that to ManageBac so you'll be able to actually um, indicate attendance. Okay, at the end of the semester, of the term. After we gave all the grades, you can go into, you see there's tasks. You have also term grade. So in term grade, you can go to term grade, and then you can give your overall term grade. You will have already all the tests that were provided, and you'll have an average between them. And it's a weighted average. You can define which one is more important or not, and which one is less of the test you gave. And then you can give your final grade here and description of the grade here. Okay. When you're done, this is automatically saved, so there's no need to save. And so these are all my students. And remember also, you need to be on the right term. If the time passed and term ended, then the second term will show and you're gonna not see anything. So always when you go to term grade, make sure you focus on the right term. I said we have three: first term, second term, and third term. And make sure you provide the details here. I hope this was sufficient enough. And just going back to the tasks and units, as I said, opening a task, you need to assign it to a unit. So you can always, you see here at the top, add a unit, and a unit, and you can explain what this unit is about, how much time it will take you, duration, when you started, how many hours. And when you create the unit, you'll have more options to add to it if you want. I hope this was good enough. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay? Have a great, great day.